$1.75 for an hour. I forgot the
All
text.
right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Court of Random Opinion. My name is Lauren Neidigh. I'm here with my friend Cassidy O'Connell, and we have had my God, I don't even know how many things that just came onto the docket in the last hour.
Just
I saw
ridiculous.
I saw this at like 10 p.m. and I was like, okay, well, mostly it was just responses to the Second Amendment complaint. I thought it was going to be, largely the same as the first, but then there's like thing after thing after thing. So there's like a whole bunch of stuff that came out tonight. So we're gonna go over some of that. But yeah, hang on. I haven't seen the latest filings or by whom to know why the jury demand is referenced now. Maybe Perez requested. So we'll go over that here in a second. Just let me look at this real quick. It's Kim. Thank you for the $10 Pacer bucks. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, Jam. Thank you for the 10 for the Pacer bucks. I appreciate it. That's always nice because some of these things, like it's late at night, so they don't always come out right away on the free sites.
On the court listener, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna wait for that. So yeah, yeah. So we'll take a look at this thing with Perez first, because I know that this came in not too long ago, and people were wondering about that. He's filed in Nevada, but there's like a motion to compel in New York. Is that right? Am I saying that right?
I haven't read them. Let me go. Where did I bring? Oh, I just knocked. I have this big chocolate bar I got in Ireland that's Irish whiskey and dark chocolate.
I assume you're saving that for me, so
I will share it with you. It's huge. I just knocked it off of my little table that's just piled up with all of these ridiculous things. I'm trying to see what I had already looked at earlier, because when I woke up, because I didn't sleep enough, of course.
No, nobody ever does.
And I printed a bunch of stuff out. Oh, here it is. Because I have this Murdoch stack too. Because I'm.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah. So I put a bunch of this stuff up. Am I on the right? I'm not even on the right. Like, why can't I see you? Why can't I see the screen? I have like the old StreamYard tab open from last night that I never closed.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, no, I'm off camera tonight, guys. I'm at my parents' house, so I don't have the camera and all that. But so it doesn't really matter if you can see me or not, I guess. But
yeah, so I started doing the research, and then I thought, you know what? I am sick to death of this stuff. I don't want to look at any of it today.
Yeah.
And so I just put it away and started baking a pie. And then, of course, that didn't. Yeah, that makes sense, right? So, of course, that didn't go. So I got the crust done, and then it's supposed to refrigerate from 1 to 24 hours. So that was packed away. I had the filling done. That was in the fridge. Everything just, waiting. So I get the crust and I start to roll it out. And then I'm like, okay, where's my pie pan? And I'm looking in this cabinet and that cabinet and nowhere. I'm like, why would I have put this anywhere but where it always goes? And then I remembered I made a pie for someone and I never got it back. So I had to go to the store. And of course it's late. So the only thing open is the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that and I come back and it's a 10-inch instead of the 9-inch that I had made the recipe for. So now instead of being like mounded up nice and high peach, it's going to be like a little flat sad pie.
It's okay, you don't have to show us.
So, yeah, so I and then like the crust, I like overflowing pie crust, so you can like really flute the edges really cute, but it's like I had to do it so thin to stretch it to try to make a little overlap. So yeah, instead of this big fluffy glamorous pie, it's probably going to be sad, but it's in the oven and eventually will be there.
Okay,
so
well, everything you just said to me is a
this way you guys won't be jealous when you see it.
Okay.
You'll be like, oh, glad I don't have to eat that.
While you were explaining that to me, I just refreshed and there are 2 new filings on the docket.
No way!
I know. What, are the clerks on crack tonight or something? Did somebody be like, I'll break into my office and just do work tonight? Like, what is happening?
That's crazy. Well, the lawyers can file directly. Like, they don't have to, the clerk's office doesn't have to be there. They can just e-file
Yeah,
and it just
okay,
goes.
that's fair enough. I just like
Yeah,
my crack theory a little better, to be honest.
I do too. Yeah, I'm gonna
All right.
pretend that's what's happening.
So we'll start really quickly with this motion for Perez, or not the ruling for Perez on his extension. He asked for an extension to
What's
file his
what's the docket?
opposition.
What's the
What's that?
number?
Oh God, I wish I could tell you. Wait, no, it's 627.
627. Okay.
Okay.
This mountain. Let me see if I already printed that. You know me and my printing.
Michelle says, "Why are we talking about pie?" Well, Michelle, I want you to know about Cassidy's pie. How about that? We got some complaints here. I'm lost on the pie story. Move on, girls. How about you move on to the pie? All right. It is 11 p.m., ladies. I'll talk about what I want. All right. Anyways,
Yeah.
we'll get into it just by coincidence.
We have so many channel managers.
All
Don't
right.
you love it when people tell you what to do?
No, I fucking hate that shit. All right. Anyways, the motion for an extension is denied, which is not surprising, unfortunately. Perez seeks, in effect, a stay related to Lively's motion until the district court in Nevada issues a ruling. So he was basically asking, I guess, for the judge not to make him proceed with this until the judge in Nevada said yes or no to his, I think, motion to compel. Is that right? That sounds about right to me. But
He had misfiled. I think he had.
yeah, it's very confusing.
Yeah, there was something wrong. But what I had heard, but I haven't read all of this. I'm so far behind. But he said that he had addressed it to Ezra, but it was actually sent by Gottlieb. But then Ezra said, one of the filings tonight is Ezra saying that she did serve him. So
Right.
I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, he had messed up his filing somehow.
So
But I know they're going to try to get it to New York like they have every single subpoena.
Yeah. So the point of this, though, that I wanted to point out was this was due today. So it's due within the next 45 minutes. And I'm sure he knows that. But the judge says Perez has not demonstrated good cause for briefing, not to go forward. He's free to argue in his opposition to the motion to compel that the court should defer ruling to Nevada, or defer ruling until Nevada has ruled. So it appears, however, that Perez has not yet properly served his motion to quash in the District of Nevada. And there was all that came out last night. And I don't want to get too sidetracked with all that, because the subject of this stream is obviously the answers that just came out. I just wanted to show everybody this ruling because I know people were asking me about it. So let's see. The court does not assume, nor should Perez, that it will necessarily defer ruling in favor of a proceeding that is now further behind than the one in this court. Okay. To the extent Perez has already argued in his motion to quash that the subpoena is improper, he is free to repeat those arguments in his briefing here. And I would recommend he do just that, because it's only 45 minutes away. He might have already filed it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're filing pro se, you do have to file during the courthouse hours.
Right. Yeah. And
so he would have had to do it by 5, but it would be his time. So he's a couple hours.
He's in Las Vegas. So what, like 9 p.m. his time? I guess. Well, because you said during business hours, so 2 p.m. this time. Oh no, that's kind of nutty.
No, I think since it's there, it would be their time. Yeah. So
somebody says done. He already did it. Okay, so that I would have to.
Good.
Yeah. Somebody says they wouldn't file shit with them. Well, the thing is, if you don't, then they might just go ahead and force you to like give over your information. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So. But he already took care of it, I guess. So we're good there.
Good. Good. I'm really good.
I guess he took care of that. Yeah, 4 p.m. New York time. So he took care of that before the judge even said you have to take care of that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So let's move over here to Justin and Jen's answers to these second amended complaints. So the first amended complaint answers and the second amended complaints answers, I just went over them to compare a little bit before the stream started, and they're largely the same. So we're just going to look at here basically what they're asking for in the prayer for relief as far as Justin's complaint goes. What's different is in the Jen Abel complaint when she goes over the third party complaint. So we'll read through that. But I just want to draw attention here.
What number is that? I don't think I printed that. No, I didn't print that.
This is 633.
633.
It's probably not. It might not be on the court listener site yet. So this is Justin's response to the second amended complaint. Like I said, everything is pretty much the same. I just wanted to go over the prayer for relief here. So they're saying defendant Justin Baldoni asks for 1, that the complaint be dismissed with prejudice, and Blake Lively take nothing herein. 2, that the judgment be entered in favor of Justin against Blake. 3, for costs of suit incurred in this action, and 4, for such other and further relief as the court may deem just and proper. Defendant demands a jury trial on all causes of actions, so triable. So that's not new. The demand for jury trial. I know people were kind of, talking about that, but the thing is, like, their response to the first amended complaint came out so long ago that people forget they've asked for this stuff already.
Right. The same thing happened with Blake's too, and it was like word for word, except for a few things about Jed.
Yeah. No, her second amended complaint, I was going over that, and I went over the whole thing. It took me like 6 or 7 hours or something to go through that, and I did it all on a stream in the middle of the night. And I remember that because it was February. It was like February 18th or something, and it was like the longest night of my life. Anyways, but I was going over, and I was like, there's so much here that I don't remember because
and it felt like it was new, right?
Yeah, it did, and especially the social media comments they were putting the footnotes and stuff where they were talking about like the things that Blake did that the commenters didn't like on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. I was like, this feels new, but I feel like this was here before, and it was.
Yeah,
so
I took it. I took it and went page by page to compare because I figured it all started to feel like it was new when I was reading it. I'm like, I don't really remember.
It's nuts. All right, so we're going to swap over here to Jen Abel's, which is also an answer. So there's Justin's answer, Jen's answer, and the third-party complaint. There was an answer by Wayfarer, Jamie Heath. I think Steve Sarowitz did his own answer. So like, there's like a bunch of these documents that are largely the same as what we saw before. So I just went over Justin's, and I want to go over Jen's because it's slightly different because of that complaint against Stephanie Jones. But otherwise, what's that?
The third party where they added.
Yeah, so that's where they added some stuff. So we'll take a look at that now. But the other ones by like Jamie and Steve and the movie and stuff like that, it's largely the same. So I'm not going to go through all of them word for word. Of course, those documents will come out at some point soon. So you'll be able to read them yourself if you want to compare and contrast, which lots of people like to do that. And they always find something that I didn't. So that's always good. But, we'll
look at 5 pages.
Yeah. So it's a few more pages than the last one when she responded to the first. But all the new stuff is in this allegations against Stephanie Jones, basically saying why Stephanie Jones is responsible for this. So, so we've got the general allegations, which we know the gist of. Of course, this was one of my favorite things when I first read it. Long known within the public relations industry for her disarming Southern twang, brass knuckle tactics, and high turnover.
A lot of mileage. I remember that.
High turnover of clients and employees. Stephanie Jones has had a successful career in the entertainment industry. Her firm, Jones Works, has represented at various times Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Jeff Bezos, Lauren Sanchez, Venus Williams, Tom Brady, and Chris Hemsworth. Jones is married to Jason Hodes, a partner at WME. When Jones poached Jennifer Abel was an up-and-coming star publicist at RNCPMK. A storied 70-year-old... Whoa, I did not mean to do that. Sorry, guys. A storied... What is going on with my mouse right now? Hang on. Sorry. My computer hates me. A storied 70-year-old public relations arm of Interpublic Group. Blah, blah, blah. All right. In or around late spring 2020, at the height of COVID-19, Jones reached out to Abel via one of her paid recruiters on LinkedIn about joining JonesWorks. So we know that she started working for Stephanie Jones. Blah, blah, blah.
And that Stephanie poached her, so she's a hypocrite for being upset about being left. Right?
Well, the psychic should have told her, to be fair.
So. That's true. That's well, I guess she can only foretell what is it, pregnancies and alcoholism.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So we have Abel's employment agreements, which we've gone over pretty much at length. So I'm not going to go through that part. All the new stuff is here. So we have Abel's tenure at JonesWorks, which you know about. Plaintiff sues Abel for acts taken in the discharge of Abel's duties, which is when it starts to get a little bit different. And then after this part, we go down to the first cause of action. So this part right here is where all the new stuff is. The plaintiff sues Abel for acts taken in the discharge of her duties. On December 31st, 2024, plaintiff commenced this action by the filing of a complaint in which she asserted claims against Abel for A, aiding and abetting harassment, and retaliation in violation of California's FEHA. B, intentional infliction of emotional distress. And C, false light invasion of privacy. On July 30th, 2025, so this is where the new stuff starts, plaintiff filed the operative second amended complaint in which she asserted claims against Abel for A, aiding and abetting harassment and retaliation in violation of California's FEHA, B, false light invasion of privacy, and C, civil conspiracy. The conduct alleged by plaintiff, and remember the plaintiff we're talking about here is still Blake, not Stephanie. The conduct alleged by Blake to have been committed by Abel and to have caused harm to Blake consists of public relations activities on behalf of Wayfarer and Baldoni during the time period when they were clients of Jonesworks. To the extent any such conduct by Abel was undertaken as alleged, which Abel disputes, it was undertaken in obedience to Jonesworks' directions. For example, plaintiff alleges...
Texts.
What's that?
And they have all those texts that show it, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, both sides have them since Stephanie Jones had her iCloud account until now. For example, plaintiff alleges Heath and Baldoni, in their own capacities and as representatives of Wayfarer, were directly engaged via contract with Jonesworks, which engagement gave rise to the retaliation campaign at issue, and Miss Abel worked as an employee of Jonesworks, which position directly gave rise to the retaliation campaign at issue. And they're citing the paragraphs in the second amendment complaint there. Although Abel disputes the truth of Blake's allegations insofar as they purport to allege conduct by Abel causing harm to Blake, the substance of the allegations appears to be Abel participated in a coordinated astroturfing campaign to discredit and bury Blake. Abel solicited, developed, implemented, and/or promoted a covert multi-tiered press and digital plan to harm Blake and discourage her from making publicly statements harmful to Wayfarer and Baldoni, among others. Abel publicly disclosed information concerning Blake's marketing decisions, moral character, private life, and family, which showed Blake in a false light. And Abel conspired with others to commit these acts. So this here, like they're just describing what she's being accused of, basically. But still, this here, like when they're saying concerning Blake's marketing decisions, moral character, blah, 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 I'm like, I still have no sympathy, even if she had done that, because that is literally, like, these are things that she has said and done.
Right.
So, again, I don't feel any sympathy for that.
Nobody needed Jennifer Abel to point it out. People were finding it out on their own.
No. Yeah, exactly. Okay, 35. Blake's allegations against Abel, the veracity of which Abel disputes, are of conduct and communications directed at the press and the public to garner good publicity and to eliminate or minimize bad publicity for the clients, Wayfarer and Baldoni.
Which is her literal job.
Right. Activities which are the very essence of the public relations profession.
There we go.
Oh, God.
It's so crazy.
It's just funny because this here, the veracity of which Abel disputes, that is like almost word for word a phrase I would use when I was writing about delusional patients in my evaluation.
It's so fitting.
Yeah, right? Okay. Jonesworks and Jones gave Abel directions to carry out the duties of a competent PR professional on behalf of the clients, Wayfarer, Heath, and Baldoni, including but not limited to garnering good publicity and eliminating or minimizing bad publicity for them and their film. In addition, Jones personally interfered with Abel's competent handling of her duties, including by attempting to insert herself with poorly timed negative communications to the press and public that were discovered by Blake's own publicist, Leslie Sloan. Oh, God. Jones' blunders clumsily disrupted a putative truce with Sloan by communicating negatively with the media about plaintiff Blake, exacerbating negative press and public attention on Blake by adding fuel to negative stories of a feud with plaintiff. Oh, God. Jones' incompetent handling of communications with the press only caused negative stories to circulate further and attract greater attention.
Oh my God.
We've all seen how that went down. There's nothing.
I remember you and I don't know if it was Omar or who was with you, but when the thing first came out that described the situation and how I remember you laughing, and I was just.
Oh, I was fully alone.
You were dying laughing.
Yeah. No,
and you were like, Were you alone?
I was
Yeah,
fully
and
alone and I was
were like,
so baked. I was baked out of my mind, and I was just like, "Oh my god, how is this happening right now? This
"We'll
isn't
pay
real."
you to just stop."
Yeah, and I think that was the night where I was like, "I have to stop smoking marijuana."
I remember just laying because I had gone to bed, but I wanted to hear what the latest filing was, and you were reading
Oh
it,
my god, no, that was
and
not.
just dying laughing at, like, how bad she did,
Yeah.
clumsily blunders clumsily disrupting.
Yeah, and then when she, like, responded to all that, she would say, like, these really nasty things about Jen and Melissa, and she would say, like, nasty things about the other publicists and even about Justin, but she didn't really dispute that she had a psychic say this kind of shit and stuff like that, as far as I recall. Like, she didn't really have a defense for that. It wasn't like, "Well, I didn't do that." It was more like,
Yeah,
"Well, it wasn't exactly like that." You know what I mean?
she just pretended she didn't see it.
I don't remember it. Can you please read the whole thing? I would die. I can never read that again. I would
It
die.
was hilarious.
All right. Abel was named as a defendant in Blake's pleadings only because of, and in direct consequence of, Abel's discharge for duties as a competent, PR professional employed by Jonesworks. Abel was named as a defendant in plaintiff's pleadings only because of, and in direct consequence of, Abel's obedience to the directions of Jonesworks. Upon information and belief, Jonesworks was not named as a defendant in Blake's lawsuit because Jones and Jonesworks conspired with Blake to
Mhm.
exploit Abel's private communications that Jones and Jonesworks stole and unlawfully intercepted for the purpose of harming Jonesworks' former clients Wayfarer, Heath, and Baldoni.
That's so crazy too. The
Yep.
owner of the company that she's claiming defamed her gets away
Right.
with nothing
And
because
why is that? I'm guessing it's not because her psychic told you she wasn't involved. So, just saying. Wait,
this
oh god. Okay, somebody says I remember this now too. I love when Lauren said, "Can you imagine someone
yes,
wanting to pay
that's
you to
it.
just shut up and then
That's
saying, 'No, I can do what I want.'"
that's the line. That's what I remember. Thank
That's
you for
what
that,
happened. That's
Viva.
literally what happened.
I
They were
was
like
trying
literally
and you even said, didn't they pay her like $20,000 a month or something? And you're
literally
like,
just
"I'll
like,
take
"Let me make you rich. All you
$20,000."
have to do is shut the fuck up," and she couldn't do it.
She couldn't do it. She's like, I reached out to my contacts, and they're like, "No."
Your contacts need to give you an intervention. Seriously.
Just sit
What a
down and
mess.
shut up. I think you said, like, sit on your hands or something. It was hilarious.
I don't know, somebody just needed to take this lady's phone and we wouldn't even be here right now.
Exactly.
Like, I would be here talking about, like,
'Cause
what would I even be doing right now? I'd be here talking about the fat lady who sued Lyft. I wouldn't even be talking about Blake. Like, I wouldn't even be talking about Blake right
yep.
now.
I honestly believe it was her taking this stuff to Blake that started the whole thing.
There is a reason that people take your phone when you get admitted to the psych ward. Somebody should have taken Stephanie Jones' phone away,
Absolutely.
and then we wouldn't be here.
Goodness. Does she
Look.
have kids? Like, how many people
Oh
are in her
god, I
life
don't
that
wanna
get
know.
tortured
Nobody tell me,
on a
please.
daily?
Don't tell
Nobody
me.
tell me. Is that what you said?
Do not
Nobody
tell
tell me.
me.
I don't wanna have to sit and think about them.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, her husband probably just stays at work, you know?
Yeah.
But kids,
Good point.
they've gotta deal with crazy
Ugh,
parents.
yeah. Okay, so her first cause of action here was statutory indemnification pursuant to California Labor Code Section 2802. And that sounds incredibly boring. I'm not going to read that right now. Um,
Mm-mm.
Second was implied slash common law indemnification. And there was one more, I think. Third was contribution. Abel hereby incorporates each and every allegation set forth above as if set forth fully herein. Although plaintiff Blake made the choice not to name Jonesworks as a defendant, this choice was the result of unlawful and unethical collusion between
Mm.
Blake and Jonesworks, acting by and through Jones.
Mm.
Yikes.
So they are gonna address Van Zandt. I just wonder
Yeah,
what the plan is.
yeah,
Do
it's
they not
very,
wanna
very
bring it to
interesting.
this court, I wonder?
I have no
Are
idea.
they saving it for summary judgment, for
Maybe.
abuse of
I have no
process
idea.
claim,
Yeah.
malicious prosecution? I mean, a lot of things they could do. I'm just like very
Yeah.
impatient waiting to. I'm like,
Yeah.
can you? I won't tell
Well,
nobody.
we'll ask Stephanie's psychic. We'll find out.
Does she have a disarming Southern twang? Because if
Probably.
she doesn't, I don't even want to hear.
Good Lord.
I really
Alright.
want to hear Stephanie talk now. I've never heard her talk.
Well,
I
maybe
want
we
to
can
see
find her in an
if
interview somewhere. I
it
don't know.
disarms me.
I'm sure it would. All right, let's see. Because of Jonesworks' collusion with Blake against both Abel and Jonesworks' former clients, and Jones' own negligent handling of PR duties, to the
I
extent
love this
Abel,
shade.
yeah, I know, right? To the extent Abel is found culpable for any injury which plaintiff Blake may be found to have suffered, Jonesworks is jointly responsible and concurrent wrongdoer. Jonesworks' acts or omissions had a part in causing or augmenting any injury which Blake may be found to have suffered, and
Mhm.
indeed played a greater part relative to Abel's acts or omissions. Accordingly, Jonesworks owes Abel contribution for the portion of the damages awarded against Abel attributable to Jonesworks' own negligence. Yeah.
Absolutely. Make her pay. Well,
That's what
I
she
don't
did.
think Blake's gonna win anyway, so
No. Let's see. Prayer for relief. On the first cause of action for indemnification. Let's see. A judgment declaring that to the extent Abel incurs any expenditures or losses, including attorney's fees, as a result of defending this action, judgment be entered against Jonesworks in favor of Abel in the amount of such expenditures or losses. And B, for monetary damages against Jonesworks in an amount according to proof, including the expenditures and losses, including attorney's fees incurred by Abel in direct consequence of the discharge of her duties as a public relations professional employed by Jonesworks, or of her obedience to the directions of Jonesworks.
yeah.
Mhm.
She wasn't an independent contractor. She was
Right.
working under Stephanie.
Yeah. Let's see. On the second cause of action for implied/common law indemnification, a judgment A declaring to the extent Abel is adjudged to have any liability to plaintiff in this action resulting from Jonesworks' own negligence, judgment be entered against Jonesworks in favor of Abel in the amount of such liability, including any expenditures or losses. Okay, and B for monetary damages in an amount according to proof, including the expenditures and losses. All right. On the third cause of action for contribution, a judgment declaring that to the extent Abel is adjudged to have any liability, judgment be entered against Jonesworks, and it's pretty much the same. Four for pre and post judgment interest, and five for such other and further relief as the court may deem just and proper, and of course the demand for jury trial on all causes of action so triable. So, I mean that was pretty much all the new stuff. It was all in Jen Abel's complaint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just you've got to highlight just Ricardo's comment.
My palm reader says Blake is going to get hit by an untraceable golf ball, and no one will be around, so she'll sue a fire hydrant for sexual assault. Oh my god. I mean, probably. That sounds
Somehow
about right.
that sounds more normal than some of these accusations.
Yeah, it really does. Now, can you read that for me in a southern twang? Oh god. All right. So let me pull this up, since this just came out as well while we were getting ready for the stream. So this is about a motion to compel.
Oh,
Wayfarer, yeah, Wayfarer is moving to quash Blake Lively's subpoena to Harco Insurance. Now, Harco
that
is the insurance company for the film. Like they did not want to pay the legal fees, and so now they're in a dispute over that. Can you speak to that?
so let me look at it real quick. I thought I printed
Yeah.
that.
641.
What is it?
641.
641.
But just to give some background, this is the insurance carrier for Wayfarer, to my knowledge.
Yes, it is. And you know what? I bet she didn't even subpoena them until it came up in the case
No,
that
probably
they
not.
weren't
Yeah.
going to pay. And then she's like, oh, yay.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Let me give them a subpoena too. Let me see.
Yeah. Right. Let's see. As counsel for
So they
Wayfarer, blah blah blah, moved to quash.
met in good faith, but were unable to resolve the dispute. Yeah, I'm really behind on a lot of this stuff, so I'm not even. I didn't read the insurance thing. Let's see.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Prior to making this motion, counsel for Wayfarer met and conferred with Lively's counsel about the Harco subpoena, or were unable to resolve. Okay, so that's not surprising. You know how they like to meet and confer, which is basically like not and say you did. So
Mhm.
nice to know that they actually participated that time. Um, Harco issued an insurance policy to Wayfarer, which was produced by Wayfarer in response to Lively's request for production, asking for all applicable insurance agreements under which any insurer may be liable to satisfy all or any part of any judgment which may be entered into this action, or to indemnity or to reimburse payments made to satisfy all or part of any judgment. Why does that matter? Like, why is this relevant?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. And maybe there is a reason, but I don't understand it.
So Blake wanted to know if he had some insurance to cover this. Why would she care?
Exactly. Why does this
That
matter?
that
Why?
won't change the amount she can ask. Why does she want to know this?
Um,
And I don't understand, like, subpoena them for what? The only thing I could think of is she wants to know why they refused it, thinking that that might help the case somehow. If they say it's something that Wayfarer did wrong, because she has no case, so she's going to grab any little thing she can grab to try to bolster it. So what I'm thinking is she wants to know all of the details of why the insurance company refused to cover anything, thinking that it could help her
yeah.
claim.
hmm
It's just a desperate move, like everything else she's doing right now, like subpoenaing us.
Yeah, and it's all really weird.
Let me see.
So okay, so
So
they're
she's
asking
taking
for
correspondence with them.
yeah.
So the application for insurance, well, that would have been a long time ago. Which
I
includes
yeah,
highly
really
confidential
weird.
financial information that is irrelevant to the lawsuit. Yeah, because
So
when
I
you
think
apply
they were
for
denied
insurance
that. Weren't they denied that
business,
previously?
what's that?
Weren't they denied that previously? Like they asked for certain financial information, and so now are they trying to get it this way? Is
Yeah,
that
so
what's
now
going
they're
on?
trying to get it through the insurance.
Okay, but going
But
through this again with the same judge, is that not like stupid as hell? Like what? The judge already said no.
yeah.
What
But
is the point?
I think it's beyond the financial stuff. I think they're bringing up the financial stuff because when you apply for insurance for like a company,
Yeah.
it involves things like the the value of it, your assets, what else, yeah. And that stuff would all be completely confidential.
Yeah.
Put on your
But
delusion.
Mo says you guys are asking each other very smart questions, but you're not dealing with smart people. Put on your delusion hats.
Insurance coverage.
Jesus
So she
Christ.
wants all documents and communication between Harco on the one hand and Wayfarer. It ends with us, Baldoni. All documents and communications. No,
Yep.
Blake. Somebody smack her in the nose
Exactly.
with a newspaper.
All documents and communications concerning the Wayfarer claim. All documents
Claim.
and communications concerning Harco's decision to deny the
That,
claim.
yep, that's it. Yeah. Because she thinks if there's some reason that they say, well, um, we're not covering this because this is your fault because of this reason, this reason, this reason. If she can
Right.
get those reasons, she can try to use them to that was my guess. And then it looks like that's what she asked for. So I think so even more. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze.
Okay. So we got somebody here who says, and I'm going to answer this because
Sorry.
people came in late. Is this clickbait or is this a motion to dismiss? It's exactly what I said it was in the beginning of the stream and in the tweets before the stream started. It's a response to the Second Amendment complaint. They asked for the motion or the lawsuit to be dismissed with prejudice. I don't know why you felt the need to make a comment like that, but mods, if you could, and just go ahead and remove those comments. Put people in timeout till tomorrow. I don't give a shit. I'm not tired of hearing that crap. So, all right. And if you're a mod and you're talking like that, then you're done being a mod. Okay. Let's see. Lively did not propound these RFPs on the Wayfarer parties, and the deadline for discovery and motions to compel further document requests to parties has passed. Let's see. The information requested in the Harco subpoena is not relevant or otherwise discoverable. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Although not otherwise relevant, let's see. Rule 26 states a party must provide any insurance agreement under which an insurance business may be liable to satisfy all or part of a possible judgment in the action or to indemnify or reimburse for payments made to satisfy the judgment. Such disclosure enables counsel to make the same realistic appraisal of the case so that settlement and litigation strategy are based on knowledge and not speculation. Insurance information is needed in most cases to prepare for trial or make an informed decision about settlement. All right. Courts consistently deny requests for any information regarding insurance in a case that does not involve a dispute over insurance coverage beyond the policies themselves, either because Rule 26 does not require it or because such discovery is not relevant within the meaning of Rule 26. So I'm not going to read too much more of this, but during the parties meet and confer, Lively articulated only one argument as to why the documents were relevant. Lively's counsel suggests that the Harco subpoena is relevant to prove when the Wayfarer parties were put on notice of a potential legal claim against them, which they contend was in November 2023 when Lively sent the Wayfarer Studios LLC counsel a document entitled Protections for Return from Production. But the Wayfarer parties' notice of Lively's claims is not relevant to any party's claim or defense, nor are the documents requested in the Harco subpoena relevant to any claim or defense in the litigation. Okay. Yeah, so the motion to quash should be granted. There we go.
The thing about this protections for return, there's no outright accusation made in it.
No.
There's no admittance of any wrongdoing.
Of course not.
Whatsoever. But it tells me that there are not any official complaints.
Yeah.
Because if there were, they wouldn't be relying so heavily on this 17-point thing.
Mm-hmm.
If there was ever a legit complaint filed with them or with Sony, they wouldn't even need to talk about this. But because they put so much stress on this, to me, that's what I get from it. But there's no accusation in that. There's a lot of insinuation, but that's not the same thing as an actual, you did this.
Yep.
And them signing it is just them signing it saying, yeah, we can do this because we're already doing most of it anyway. So Blake and her supporters rely so heavily on this 17-point thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that tells me that they're hoping that after that 17-point, Justin or Jamie may have asked their insurance, what if this happens? What could you do about it? You know? So it's just another situation where they're like, oh, maybe they did this. Let's subpoena them and find out.
No, seriously, that is the standard, apparently. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Somebody says Perez says they tried to make a deal with him. I don't doubt it at this point.
I didn't watch that yet. Did he say what the deal was, or did he just?
I don't know. I have to watch it tomorrow because, like I said, I wasn't expecting anything tonight, so I didn't really.
Yeah, I was just
a bunch of notifications. I was like, well, I guess it's time.
Just making my pie and gonna just chill and make myself not look at anything for my just have a mental health pie day.
Yeah, right. That didn't work. Every time you guys say Jamie, I look around the room. Sorry, Jamie. My bad.
Oh, sorry, Jamie.
We didn't mean to. Oh my god.
I don't think I'm answering Katie here. I don't think it changed, but what happened is there was a 30 thing that no more list, no more this, no more that, but all that wasn't even on paper. That was something that Blake rattled off in her word salad and never gave them anything, and then until it was like part of a lawsuit, but they never signed that. They never even saw it on paper. They just, that night that Blake and Ryan yelled at them, she screamed off all these no mores. Hold on, I'm gonna check my pie real quick. Be right back.
No problem.
Oh, I almost
right, so this is just Ellen's declaration in support of this. There's not really much to see here. But of course, there's exhibits, so let's take a look at that. This is just the notice of the subpoena, so it's just showing us what they were asking for, which she basically just outlined in the other document. So I'm not gonna get too much into that. Exhibit B is the RFPs to Wayfarer. Okay, and then we've had a couple more things come up since we've been talking about this. So hang on, let me keep refreshing this shit right here. Jed Wallace is filing a motion to dismiss, which has not shown up on the docket yet. So, he asked for certain things to be sealed, So I think we might have to wait a little bit before it actually pops up. Of course,
Yeah.
it's personal medical information that he has to be sealed in the first place, only for her to release that information in the Texas court, like a total douchebag. So,
Yep. Just like she did last time.
yep. Okay, let's see. We have a reply in support of the motion to compel Wayfarer's compliance with discovery, filed by Blake. Let's see here. This just came up. And this is another thing I'm probably going to skim over. I'm not going to do too much with this tonight because it's late. Hang on. All right. That's
647. Oh yeah, I did. I know I
yeah. This just popped up. So this was about the omnibus. Which
Um,
can you explain like what that means? Because I think a lot of people don't understand.
So an omnibus is just, and because normally if you file just one motion in one filing, but if you consolidate several different motions together instead of putting them out all separately, it's called an omnibus. So they're not different types of motions. I think they're all motions to compel, but because it's multiple motions all grouped together, it's called an
Okay.
omnibus. Basically, this was the dirty trick that they used before that they did to Judd Wallace.
Yeah.
It's bury you in paperwork because there's absolutely no reason. This was obviously in the works for a long time. It didn't have to all come in together at one time. They could have been writing these and sending them all along. This was just absolutely just a let me bury you in this. And when you've got all these deadlines, and that's exactly what happened. And then they dumped it so late. Do you remember how what Kevin Fritz was saying? They did it so late in the day.
Yeah.
And then because it was so big, it took so long to upload. It was well into the next day, but that doesn't count because they filed it at like 11 something, knowing how long it would take.
Right.
But
Yeah.
they would lose a whole day because it was before midnight.
Mm-hmm.
They only had like 2 days to respond. It was the whole everything about it was just yeah.
I hate a late dump. Thank you, Jamie, for that. Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was something that could have been spaced out, but they wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
See, Don't Fuck with Justice says, yes, Perez said the deal was that they both paused their motions, his Nevada and their in New York, until a ruling on Wayfarer discovery. But when he agreed with some points of his, argued with some of the points of his own, Ezra stopped responding. Of course she did. Yeah, of course.
She was probably just trying to waste his time, hoping he wouldn't make the deadline.
You know, she also just hates doing her job, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless it's like extra bitchy, apparently.
I wonder what she thinks of the stuff we say about her.
I don't care. I've said everything I could possibly say about that woman. And the truth is, like, if we ever encountered each other, I would be perfectly cordial and I would never be rude to her in her face or anything like that. But like, I'm here just like living my life, and you are now trying to subpoena my bank information, refusing to cooperate per your obligations as an attorney in the New York federal courts. I don't give a shit what you think about what I have to say about that on my own
Right.
time. So, you
Right.
know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I love that Omar adapted Mealy.
Oh God.
I listened to that one today. That is one I got caught up on.
Yeah. Good Lord. Okay.
To describe her.
Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. Somebody said, I don't even think the judge ruled on 47.1 yet. No, that hasn't come up.
He ruled on it. He said he didn't use it. So he left
Right.
it without prejudice
Yeah.
so that it could be brought up again. But I honestly don't think he wants to go anywhere near it. Simply
I
because
wouldn't either, dude. And to be honest, if I were that guy, I'd be like, no.
yeah, it's a brand new law. It's never been applied in the state, the only state that it is meant for at this time.
Yeah.
And it has too many similarities, in my opinion. I know not everybody agrees with me, but not actually Golden did, and so I was like, "Okay, then
Okay.
we're good." It has too many similarities to anti-SLAPP. There's,
Yeah.
like, procedural law and substantive law, and it's once when there's a clash between the 2 in federal court, it it goes with federal laws. So that's why excuse me, just turned into a monster. That's why anti-SLAPP doesn't work in federal court, because the 2 different types of law, federal law always wins out when it's procedural,
Yep.
and anti-SLAPP crosses over into procedural. I know that sounds kind of messy, but that's why
Mhm.
they're not. And the Supreme Court has yet to ever take on a single case for anti-SLAPP. And I
Right.
think the reason they don't do it is because not every one of the states has an anti-SLAPP statute.
Uh-huh.
So if they make a ruling, once the Supreme Court makes a ruling, all the states abide by that ruling. But how do you
Mhm.
do that in a state that doesn't even have this statute?
Yeah.
So, because of messy things like that, I cannot imagine that he's gonna wanna touch that as a federal court judge in New York, and this is a state law from
Yeah.
California. I
Mhm.
honestly I think he's like, "Heck no, I'm not even gonna look at this."
Yeah.
So he left it open, but I honestly do not see him wanting to touch that and be the first person ever to touch this law that is nothing to do with him, because it's a California law, and it's just I don't I don't I don't like it.
No, I wouldn't either. I mean,
Mhm.
that's crazy. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go here. I'm just gonna skip here to 3 documents through the present should be produced because that's kind of what I've been bothered by, I think, the most. And then I'll probably go over this whole thing. Of course, there's some redacted stuff in here. I'll probably go over the whole thing tomorrow. Let's see.
Mhm.
What were they redacting here? Including communications among and between Baldoni, Heath, Nathan, Abel, Sarwitz, Walls, and then there's just people they don't want to name. Okay. Nice of them to redact stuff.
Yeah.
I guess we're doing that now. Okay, so they're talking here about some messages. It also is cold comfort for the Wayfarer defendants to offer an unspecific re-review of their productions when they expressly disclaim possession of information that incontrovertibly exists. For instance, the Wayfarer defendants disclaim the use of social media bots, trolls, troll farms, paid or incentivized accounts, or seeding, amplifying, boosting, or planting content, despite clear evidence to the contrary. And then here it says Baldoni says this is an incredible post from someone we have worked with on Man Enough. He nailed it as it was my exact intention. And Abel says, let's boost this instead of you posting it. So fucking what? I know the video has nothing to do with it, but
Mhm.
let's instead have third parties amplify instead of you right now. What is the fucking problem with that? That's like standard PR. He found
Right.
something positive that he likes from someone he
And
worked with. Who fucking cares?
yeah, and that doesn't mean that it's bots or troll farms doing it.
Right. And it doesn't mean this has anything to do with Blake at all whatsoever either.
Right, or any kind. And I've seen I need to find it again. When Justin was talking about the troubles with her back then, when this stuff was happening,
Uh-huh.
there are sentences that seem to make it. No, I don't want to misspeak, but it seems like, I mean, it's not talking about sexual harassment at all. It's talking about the disagreements and the fights over production and all of that stuff. In the way that it's worded to me, I was like, this isn't even talking about, because in it says something about somebody's fault. And just the way that you know what? I need to shut up until I find it so that it makes more sense what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
But a lot of this stuff, maybe they were talking about, but I think they were talking about it from the perspective of this was a troubled production because there were disagreements, and Blake
Right.
took over this and took over that and had people fired. So the actual work environment was contentious.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not that this was about retaliation for a claim that had never even been made yet.
Yep. Right.
And so if that were the case, even if they did do bots and troll farms and stuff, which there's no evidence that that happened,
Yeah, I don't see any
they
shit
were
about a troll farm
doing
here.
it if they were doing it because of the troubled production, then it has nothing to do with retaliation for a complaint that never had been placed at this time.
Right. Yep. Ugh. God, these people are so annoying. All right, let's see. I was
It's
trying to
just
skip down the
normal
thing.
PR. This is what PR
Yeah.
people do, especially
Yep.
crisis PR people. So if they did crisis PR based on the fact that it was a troubled production, that has nothing to do with retaliation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Documents through the present should be produced. The Wayfarer defendant's refusal to produce responsive documents and communications through the present similarly fails. So are they like not allowed to speak to anyone from now until whenever the fuck you're done with them? Is that what's going on? Because like that's kind
Apparently,
of
it's
sounds like it.
ongoing.
Yeah. Among other things, the Wayfarer defendants, 1, complained that a date range through the present for all of Miss Lively's requests is improper, because it is. 2,
Because it
dispute
is.
the impact of the court's prior decision. 3, seek to limit the scope of any additional production to only allegedly defamatory statements. Well, why the hell would they not limit it to only allegedly defamatory statements?
Yeah, hasn't she invaded their privacy enough with having
Jesus.
her phone?
Yeah. And 4, insist that Ms. Lively be required to produce any additional documents based on the extended cutoff date. All are meritless. Let's see. First, Wayfarer cherry. You want to talk about cherry picking, bitch? I don't think so. Do not talk to me about life is just a bowl of cherries that you fucking picked. All right. First, the Wayfarer defendants cherry pick certain document requests that do not relate to the ongoing retaliatory smear campaign. There isn't one, you delusional psycho.
Hmm.
However, the majority remain relevant and must be responded to. For example, documents and communications concerning any actual, alleged, or suspected harassment related to the film must be provided through the present. What the hell are you talking about? Actually, though, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Seriously, nobody's even talking about the film anymore these days. It's all,
Yeah.
hey, Blake is trying to subpoena 107 members of the public because she doesn't like what they say about her online. Jesus fucking Christ. What a moron. All right. Second, the Wayfarer defendants dispute the court's prior rejection of their December 20th, 2024 cutoff date, claiming the court rejected that cutoff date for the purpose of specific targeted interrogatories. A plain reading of the court's prior decision makes clear that, given Miss Lively's allegations of an ongoing smear campaign, a December 20th, 2024 cutoff date was improper. Okay. This is like so unsettling that anybody could just claim there's an ongoing anything
Yeah.
and give what
I
they
mean,
want.
discovery has to end at some point.
Right.
It's not from now till infinity.
Mm-hmm. And it's also
The court has ordered third parties to produce documents after the
December and into March. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Some nutty shit. Okay. Third, the Wayfarer defendants attempt to narrowly restrict the post-December 2024 documents only to the alleged smear campaign. What do you mean? What the hell else is there? Which is robustly alleged in Miss Lively's complaint as encompassing far more than defamatory conduct, and is defined in Miss Lively's request to include the digital campaign alongside other conduct.
You know what I think she wants?
Mm.
I've said this before. She wants any time that they mentioned her in a derogatory way, which you better believe after this complaint and lawsuit was filed, these people were saying they were trash talking her. No doubt. Of course they were. So if she gets that, it's not really going to help her retaliation claim if they're just having this conversation about this horrible woman doing this to us. But it for the shock value of it. Oh, look what they said about me. See? There was a smear campaign. It's all just every bit of what they're asking for is so desperate and sad. And not robust evidence. But if they can put that out there, even if they can just put it out there in a press release, look what they said about me.
This is also a sexual harassment case, and as such, evidence of similar misconduct is highly relevant and probative to Miss Lively's claims. Oh my god, she does remember. Go fuck yourself. There was no sexual harassment.
No.
This is especially true given the dramatic lengths to which the Wayfarer defendants went to conceal bad behavior by Mr. Baldoni and others after production, including through the digital campaign. Lady, you haven't proved jack
What bad
shit.
behavior? What bad behavior?
Right. The same goes for evidence related to the ongoing efforts to defame and place Miss Lively in a false light. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is it a false light? Is it a false light? Did Brian Friedman make you put on blackface and run around and stalk a man? Did Brian Friedman make you get married on a plantation? Did he make you, what was it? Did he own part of it at some point? Or some company named Boone Hall? Did Brian Friedman make you neglect your responsibilities as someone who purports themselves a champion for women and girls' safety? Did Brian Friedman make you neglect your responsibility to women and girls in the context of a domestic violence film promotion?
Yeah. Or promote your booze and your hair stuff, or make your little girl say disgusting things about her own father and the guy they call her uncle.
Jesus.
You know, that's the thing. It's not like there's these whacked out rumors that's like, where did this come from? Who started this? Every single thing that's said about her is backed up by video evidence.
Mm-hmm.
It's all things she herself did and said. It's all there. It's
No,
either
I'm
in
pretty sure that was a deep fake AI who said that she stole part of the film to show it at Book Bonanza.
Yeah.
That wasn't
Or
Blake.
said in an interview, my husband rewrote the scene, which put all kinds of implications on all the production companies involved, because you can't have that. Which, by the way, why did that one guy get removed for writing during the strike and Ryan nothing?
This lady, I swear to God, she's like a step away from a sovereign citizen. Like, I swear, she's nuts. Jesus. All right. Okay. I think I'm good with this for tonight. I'm gonna go over the rest of this tomorrow because I am exhausted.
This is a pile of paper.
I mean, we tried to go through like 10 different things. It was a lot. So.
Yeah. I already had a big pile that I was trying to get through today.
Yeah.
Now there's even more.
It ruined your pie.
Oh, ruined my pie.
We should talk about that for another 5 or 6 minutes just to make sure everyone's happy.
Yeah, just to bring out the managers in the chat.
Jesus.
How dare I tell you about my pie, Lauren?
That was disgusting. Yeah. All right, I gotta get to bed, guys, because I got work in the morning. So, thanks, everyone. Right. Thanks, Cassidy.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks.
Life is just a poem.